So, Cindy, I want you to meet Shauna and her husband, John.
Nice to meet you.
So, for years, the two of them saved up every penny so they can buy this home. But the second they moved in here, all hell broke loose. Now, a few months ago, Shauna's cousin, Mary, moved in with her two kids. This is Aiden, who's 16, and this is Chloe, who's 13. Everyone is having a terrible time. And these guys are convinced whatever's here is out for blood. Now that Cindy knows just a little bit about you guys, she'll tell us about her walk.
When I first arrived at the house, I was really drawn up in the attic. And what you have up there is an elemental. That basically means a spirit from the earth. It was never human. And I think the elemental is connected to the land that your house was built on. It can wreak havoc in your home. It can drain your energy. And I also think you guys might be hearing thumping or something coming from the ceiling.
Yeah, definitely.
First thing you need to know is this neighborhood's brand new. I want you to take a look at this aerial photo. Now, as you can see, there was nothing here but dirt
Right.
before the neighborhood was even built.
That makes sense.
As soon as you said drain, you and I looked at each other.
I am drained 24/7. It is just absolutely exhausting.
Now, the other thing she mentioned was the noise, you know. You told me about, it sounded like furniture was being moved.
We do, and I've heard, thumps and so forth come from the attic.
So I also had my own suspicions that there might be something going on with the ground here. So I called in two geologists to come by the house and take some soil samples for testing. The good news is the results came back normal, and I have those here. So that's one good thing about your property, that your soil's good. The bad news is it came back normal, which means your problem can't be easily explained.
Well, there's more. Next, I want to talk about a dead woman who was very active here and is causing a lot of problems. She really likes to mess with people and make them feel crazy. She can also mimic the voices of people in the house. I feel like people that are alive will feel like they're being watched by somebody, especially in the shower.
I feel it. I feel being watched constantly if I'm in the shower.
Tell Cindy about the apparition of the woman.
I felt a presence, and I didn't know what it was, but it was just very creepy. And there was a full apparition standing in the kitchen watching me.
She mentioned mimicking. Explain what's going on with that.
So hearing her call my name repeatedly, almost in distress,
Yeah.
and then I go searching for her, and she's nowhere that I would have been able to hear that even.
But the thing that worries me the most is she likes to manipulate people's emotions. And she wants to make people upset so she can drive people to depression and even drug abuse.
Now, one of the big reasons these guys called us in is because they feel like their moods have changed significantly since they got here.
I go up and down so quickly, it's not even funny.
And you've never had that before. Yeah.
I'm a generally calm person. I've spent my career on the street as a paramedic, having to be calm.
Right.
Now it seems like the very littlest things will send me into a rage.
That has to be terrifying
It
because
is.
you have no control over your emotions.
I mean, we're just not happy.
I was feeling into who this woman was when she was alive. There's grief around actually losing a child, a miscarriage, or blood, problems with reproductive stuff. And I keep hearing something about an adoption. She was so sad and miserable and scared.
I came across somebody who might fit the description. Her name was Maud Mormon. Maud and her husband, Fred, wanted children, but couldn't have any of their own. So in 1950, they adopted a 2.5-year-old boy. His name was Robert Henry Mormon. When he was 13 years old, he accidentally shot his mother.
Oh my God.
But fortunately, she lived. So when Robert was 23, he kidnapped an 8-year-old girl on her way home from school. So he went on the run, stopping at motels, making this little girl perform sexual acts. So eventually his car broke down and he turned himself into the police. So he gets sentenced to 9 years to life. Now, on January 12th, 1984, Robert was allowed a compassionate furlough that the state had to visit with his mom. So his mom came in, checked him out of prison, and into room 22 at the Blue Mist Motel across the street. Later at night, Robert went to a pizzeria that was owned by a former corrections officer and asked if he could dump some bad meat that went rancid on him. The owner recognized him and was suspicious, so he called the cops. Police came to the hotel and arrested Robert. While he was in the squad car, he admitted that he killed and dissected his own mother.
Oh my gosh.
I got her obituary right here. Robert was found guilty and given the death penalty. Now, he fought off his execution for 28 years.
Wow.
Right?
It's a long time.
But was eventually given a lethal injection in 2012. When you said those few things, she's the only person I can think of that might fit that description. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, yeah, especially the adoption part. It was just like, talk about the adoption, like over and over and over.
Right.
She wants everybody in the house to feel her pain. So it would make sense that she's creating problems between the two of you.
Now I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can feel that rage. Like, it makes perfect sense.
All right, so what else we got going on?
So the next dead person that I want to talk about this in your house is a very angry and aggressive man. When he was alive, I got that he was a killer. I kept hearing killing spree. Then I saw a vision of a man hanging from a noose, and I kept hearing the name Will or Willie.
Now, first thing you got to know, Cindy, is that there's a huge state prison less than a mile from here.
Yeah, and I didn't know that going in. Yeah, so.
And that's where Mormon, that I was just telling you about, was executed. Now, a whole bunch of killers called this prison home. Way too many to mention. But I actually did come across one named Willie in my research.
You did?
I did. His name was Willie Steelman. And in the early 70s, he and his partner in crime went on a terror spree in Arizona and California. The two were convicted of murdering 11 people.
Wow.
Willie Steelman never made it to the gas chamber. He actually died of liver disease in 1986. I'm not sure if this is the guy, but...
Oh, that's the guy.
Definitely fits the description.
Yeah.
You said this guy's dangerous. I mean, what's he do?
In the main bedroom, I saw him getting into bed with you guys. So you should feel the bed sinking in sometimes.
Did I tell you she's good?
I know she's good.
Tell her what you told me and what you showed me happens.
So there's a lot of nights that you can feel like somebody like pushing on the bed, or sometimes I get my foot tapped.
One of the most disturbing things that I saw was him trying to choke a woman in bed. And I had a sketch done of what I saw.
It's gonna disturb you to see this, for sure.
Yep. I felt that. Several times I felt that.